second on an amendment to the...
But don't let us speak.
Yes.
Okay, as everyone knows, that I'm one of the four that was against changing the name. But after hearing the compromise that Councilor Ewing has proposed, and knowing that, I mean, the history is still going to be there no matter what. We can't change that. And that was my purpose of making that speech about my history teacher, saying, you know, those that don't learn the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. We all know the lesson of history. We know what happened. And I think that this is it's not necessarily changing the name. I mean, am I wrong on that? I mean, are people still...
No, you're right.
Excuse me, I have the floor. Thank you. The businesses are still going to have Brady Street on their address.
Yeah,
Councilor
Brady.
Ewing?
If we vote this, it'll be M. Brady Street.
We have a street in town called the LL Tisdale Parkway, which is called the Tisdale by anyone who uses it. That street will likely be called Brady Street by anybody who wants to call it Brady Street. I hope is that people will call it Reconciliation Way, like we call Cherry Street, Cherry Street. But those of you in the audience who are emotional and have negative feelings about what we're doing tonight, I would ask you to ask yourselves what you would have had us do instead of this solution.
Change the name, Brady.
So,
Totally.
if we haven't made it clear that that was simply not going to happen with this council on a vote, then let me reiterate. Had we called the vote and voted according to the preset intentions of the council, this would have failed, and tomorrow morning we would have all woken up and that street would have still honored Tate Brady. So with that being the case, put yourselves up here in our shoes for 5 seconds and imagine what you would do if you were me. You know where I stood on this thing. We had a choice. We come up here and we stand our ground and we say it's either Burlington or it's whatever. And we would have lost. And it would be Tate Brady. And our community would be worse off tomorrow than it is today. Because once again, you would have had a reminder that the voice, that your voice, didn't matter in this conversation.
Still don't.
We had...
I'm not upset that you like, you're just upset because...
I understand that you're upset, but what I guess I'm trying to convey is that the effort here is towards anything that's an improvement over what the likely outcome would have been, which is that it would have lost. You would have either lost at the council or you would have lost by mayoral veto. So it wasn't going to change. And I understand, let that make you upset. It makes me upset that we're discussing a compromise as well. But we got 9 people up here representing, well, 8, yeah. You got 8 today, representing 8 different parts of the city, different age groups, different races, different walks of life. And that's part of what municipal government is all about. You get the perspectives of all these different people and the people that they represent. We even have different perspectives represented up here about how we think we're supposed to represent. Some of us feel that we were elected based upon our judgment and values and to employ those at our will as counselors, where some of us feel like we are to vote according to the wishes of our constituents, specifically. So you're dealing with human beings, and we're always going to be dealing with human beings here. And so we're going to do our best to reconcile, but at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of flawed, regular people doing the best we can in this city called Tulsa. We share the air here, and the quicker that we can realize that, the better we are, and the better we can move on. And so I'm going to ask for something. I'm going to ask for you to give a little like we've tried to give a little. And I understand you feel like you've given a lot. I get it. But tonight, I'm going to ask you to join the compromise. I had to ask my colleagues to join this compromise. Otherwise, it was going down. And so, I'm not saying... Yeah, okay. So, you understand where I stand. This was our effort at compromise and to do what we thought was the best for the city of Tulsa. So, I ask that you be gracious. I really respect the way that the conversation has been had. I respect the way that you guys came prepared to make your case, and I think you made a heck of a case. And I really do hope that we're better for it. I think we'll be better for it, but we need there to be resolution and compromise tonight. Otherwise, the divide is represented again tomorrow, and we're more in the hole than we were today.